Hope everyone is well. So I wanted to come in here and upload this video because I've been procrastinating for a very long time. I've just been procrastinating to upload videos, and truth is I just felt really unqualified and felt unworthy of releasing things that God has placed in my heart to release and to speak on, because I just feel I felt really small. And so when I first gave God my yes, that I would follow him and I would put aside my own desires and put aside my way of living and making my own decisions, I had no idea that saying yes to God would be so crazy. And I had no idea that it was going to come with so many trials. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and everybody would say, give your life to God, because your whole world is going to change. It's going to be better. Give your life to God, because it's going to be easier. Let me just say, those people were not 100% accurate, nor were they lying. It depends how you see it. Right, so here's what I've discovered in my journey and walking with the Lord. Yes, the road is easier because we take on his yoke, right? So if we do things his way, then he prepares us and he gives us insights and he tells us, what to do and how to do it, and he basically prepares the way, right, for us to do what he wants us to do. So it could be stress-free. Now, when we live for ourselves and we make our own decisions and we do things how we want to do things and we live according to what we want, then all those burdens we bring upon ourselves. Then we have to figure out, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? What am I going to do now? What's my next move? What's my next step? Because we're taking on those decisions on ourselves. But when we allow God to come into our lives, to come into our hearts, and we're following him what he wants us to do, then it's not the same. It's very different. It's a light burden compared to the burdens we bring upon ourselves when we want to do things for ourselves. So saying that, I had no idea all the ups and downs and my life will take when I gave God my yes. There's a lot of times I said, oh yes, I'm gonna follow God, and when he requests something of me, I was like, hold up, that was not in the manual. I did not read that in the fine print. Because truth be told, had I read the fine print, I probably would have been like super skeptical, and I probably would have leaned more on a no than a yes, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm outside and windy and dust, whatever. So yes, I think we need to be very honest when we tell people to come to Christ and we promote Christianity, or not even Christianity, but living for Christ and following Jesus, picking up our cross and following him. We need to be honest. Like, it's not always gonna be peaches and cream. It's not always gonna be easy. We are gonna have to abandon, give up, stop talking to. We're gonna have to be uncomfortable plenty times. We're gonna have to have a new perspective, his perspective, have a new mindset. walk differently, speak differently, break up relationships and friendships, and all the things. Not work if he says not to work, depending on him in every situation, no matter what you're going through. It's quite different, so I am currently in a space where I'm in transition. He told me I would be moving. He told me to pack my stuff. A while ago, he told me to pack my stuff. But I didn't know that my apartment would be burglarized. So the transition actually came. So it actually was, I guess, on time for God, but not on time for me, because I wasn't expecting to be burglarized and feel like, oh no, we can't go back home. So I've been at my mom's. Here's a funny thing. I was staying at my mother's house Monday through Friday while my daughters were in school, because my mother's apartment is closer to my daughter's school. We were living in Brooklyn. My daughters go to school in Manhattan. And so it was easier for me to stay at my mother's house Monday through Friday and then go home on weekends. Then somebody was murdered in my building. So I was like, oh, heck no, we're not even going to go over there on the weekends. Mind you, I was in my mother's house 7 days a week. I was not going home. And I think knowing that I had a place to go to made me feel secure. Like, oh, well, if my mother starts tripping or, it gets a little crazy over here, we can always go back home because we have a place to go to and we have a place to call home. But ever since I got burglarized, I don't have another place to go to. Like, my mother's house has become home. And that was never the intention, or at least that was never my intentions, right? Like, to go back home to my mom's. But again, I'm following Christ, and he told me I will be moving. He didn't say like this, and he didn't say where. So I'm still waiting on the promises of God to come. I'm still waiting. I'm still standing. I'm still walking this journey alongside him, like, I'm always asking him, now what? Now what? What's going on now? And he's been very, very silent. And I know that when God is silent, it's because he's moving, but he's moving in secrecy, because sometimes he wants to surprise us, right? Like, as his children, he wants us to be surprised, and he doesn't tell us all the details. He'll give us parts of what he is doing, but he never says, he never gives us a whole story. So that's where I'm at. I am in a place where I am believing, I am trusting, I am waiting, I'm standing still. I'm trying to be as obedient and as focused as I can. But it hasn't been easy. It's been quite difficult, to say the least. So, for any of you that are in transitioning, that are standing still for your promise, that are waiting for instructions, if God's been quiet, he's working behind the scenes. If God's not saying anything to you, don't fret. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Although it's human nature, right, to be nervous and to be like, what's happening, Lord? But if you're depending on God, everything is going to work itself out. It may not be how you want to see it, Or how are you expecting it? Because I surely was not expecting to be burglarized, right? Like, I wasn't expecting that. But God knew it was going to happen. And so here we are. Waiting for the next thing. Waiting for the next instruction. Waiting and believing that everything does happen for a reason, right? That is all. I have another word. I'm going to upload the other word as well, but I have to get the notes for the other one. Have a great day. Continue believing. Have faith. Stand strong. God's got your back.